Want to admit that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, anyway, it's your book and you're very proud to admit it.
I'm so glad you've given me this opportunity.
So ma'am, can just pose for a picture.
So nice of you to admit it.
We break for dinner and we have chance to network and talk to her and connect with her during the dinner. Thank you very much. Yeah, Malini?
There's somebody in the back also.
I thought there were no questions.
Very inspiring, but we would like you to just talk to us about the role played by your husband, Rakesh sir. How were you complementing each other? Both of you were in the service, and how were you helping each other, complementing each other? Because the spouses really really have a big role to play, and both being in police. I think there's something interesting you would like to know more about Rakesh sir, who has been a
So,
brought me idea.
In a way, Malini is highlighting my failure that I didn't talk about Rakesh Jalal at all. But
good
floor is
question.
open.
Good question. In fact, I have received some very, very interesting observations from people all over the country. Like one lady officer from Kerala writes to me saying that, ma'am, after the work you all have put in and the hard work you all have led in the past, sir has been dropped and now we are only madam. So that was a very interesting to hear. Somebody wrote to me saying that from Odisha, saying that I am working in the police station. I have two small children, one age 2 and one about 4. And I've always wondered whether I should leave the service with children, how do you manage and all. But when I read your book, I'm inspired that I can also manage. And I've decided not to quit the service. So these are interesting things. But the funniest thing which I received, Malini, was from one lady officer saying, I don't want to name her because many of us know her. She was also at the conference. She says, ma'am, there's one person after reading the book I would like to meet is your husband. So I said, why? So she didn't write back, but sometime I'll come to Delhi and meet your husband. So I think that the husband has to have a very, very supportive role. And women, but women have to play many roles in their life. They have to be wives, they have to be mothers, they have to be daughter-in-laws, they have to be also sometimes mother-in-laws, like I am today, mother-in-law to 2 girls. So we have to play many roles, and it is satisfying, I think, for a woman to play all the roles to which she is entitled to. She should try and play all the roles effectively, and definitely the husband has to be supportive. I also feel there cannot be really any one-upmanship, and even in our career, it is not that my husband has not taken a back seat. Sometimes when I became DIG Patna, which was a very, very challenging job, my husband consciously told me that I do not want to do a range just now. I'll do a range later. You do your district first, do your range first. You know how range is important for a police officer, a district, a subdivision. So he decided. So this give and take has to be there. Very often, I have moved first with the children and my husband has come later. There have been times when my husband has moved to some place and I'm still stuck with the children, looking after them or looking after my in-laws and my family. So that balance has to be maintained. And the message I want to give to women is that a woman plays many roles, best to enjoy all the roles, not get into this one-upmanship, and try to balance as far as possible whatever comes your way. And in the afternoon I was talking to another lady officer, Shalini, and I was quite impressed to hear her story, Praveen, that she belonged to Orissa, was allotted Orissa cadre, but she moved from Orissa to be with her husband in Karnataka. Unfortunately or fortunately, she accepts the fact that she has come to Karnataka and her husband is posted somewhere else and she's in the DG's office. So we shared this, that the first 7-8 years are tough, and we shared a lot of anecdotal things, and we said that yes, first 7-8 years when you're trying to do a field job and all, and you're trying to make your career, it will be tough. It will be only later on, that you will be able to both do some job together, go on a Government of India deputation, find postings together. But be prepared, these things will happen and we must be accepting. A woman's role in her family is important, but equally important that we get along with everybody around. Thank you.
No, in fact, her name is Padmini. She is very much.
What did I say?
Padmini, not Shalini.
Oh, sorry, Padmini.
Yes, ma'am.
Padmini is there.
Jija, ma'am.
Yeah, there is
This
Padmini.
is not a question. This is just to compliment my colleague Manjari. I really admired how meticulously she must have kept records of all her subordinates, all her peers, all her criminals, everything. I mean, looking back, when I read it, when I was reading, it felt that like both of us were, two rivers
Starting together.
Starting, almost together. One from the south and one from north, but running parallelly for so many years, 3 decades and more. And many things are so similar. It was amazing. Quite a lot of differences were there also. I did not have as hard a time, Manjari, as you had in Bihar, which we had shared earlier. I met Manjari in 1979 when Government of India called, most probably Mr. Rabero was there at that time, called the then lady IPS officers. I think Aruna Babaguna was a probationer at that time, and they asked us, they wanted to get our approval to make sari the uniform. And of course we all protested. Kiran Bedi was also there at that time, up to Aruna, all of us were there, Manjari was there, and I was there. I was so, I have always felt and said that we have to be women and also officers, efficient officers. But I was very impressed by Manjari at that time as a young officer. She was so put together and she was so, composed and unruffled in all situations. They were very, the bosses on one hand trying to browbeat us into saying that yes, we'll accept the uniform of sari and things like that. She impressed me at that time itself as a very meticulous person. And reading the book, Manjari, I must pay you the highest compliment for being one of the most meticulous officers to record, to chronicle all the things which have happened in your life from day one, before joining, till your retirement. Really wonderful, admirable. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Deja.
really wonderful that you could come here and interact with us.
Thank you.
And thank you, Praveen. As soon as we were thinking of doing a private thing, and thank you, Praveen. I would like to place on record my personal gratefulness. When Manjari talked to me and I talked to Praveen, and you took over the whole responsibility. And what a beautiful function you have arranged. Thank you. And personally,
I must clarify that this conversation was not between Mrs. Manjari Jaruhar and Praveen Sood, DGL IGP. It was between Manjari Jaruhar and her probationer.
Yes, and
Praveen Sood. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deja. Thank you very much for everything. That's what I wanted to say.